Hey everyone! So let's talk a little bit about personal projects. Now, personal projects are sometimes also called unpaid work. But what personal projects are really about is to keep doing something and shooting for yourself and to explore other ideas. So let's go ahead and take a look. So, no matter what type of photography career you go into, it's important to keep pushing your creativity. And most successful professionals do this by having some type of personal project. So, besides stimulating your creativity, personal projects can add new techniques and ideas to your professional work. So, for example, let's talk about if I was studying some fine art photographers from the past. Let's say I'm a commercial photographer and I decided to do a personal project based off of Edward Weston's peppers. Let me show you what his peppers look like real quick. Let's see. Pepper. Okay. So Edward Weston did this whole series. He was a fine art photographer from the 1900s where he was just photographing peppers. If I'm a commercial photographer and I decided to do my own personal project where I study the light that he used and his subjects he chose, his composition, this could help me create better work for my clients. And it helps me see things in new ways. So let's go back over here. So that's exactly what I mean by adding new techniques and idea to your professional work. It could help you think in new ways. And doing personal projects doesn't always have to be about photography. Doing personal projects in other mediums can be really helpful too. And in fact, it can help you keep up to date with new technology. You can try playing with the newest gadgets or newest ways to showcase work, and it could bring something new to what you're doing. Now, some have even led to entirely new careers. So let's look at this article, and you guys have access to How to Turn Personal Projects into Paid Work by Rangefinder. So we're not gonna look at this entire article, but just really quickly. So this was a photographer who says he shoots, his own photo shoots for his own, personal projects once a week. And as he shot these throughout the years, he started with some musicians. They ended up getting picked up later on. And so for example, this is a singer from the Melvins who he photographed. He wasn't being paid for it, but he met them. He was a big fan, so he wanted to photograph them. And later on, they ended up actually using this same image for their promotional materials. Now here's another example where he ended up photographing a band backstage just for himself, wasn't, hired to do this or anything, and they ended up using it for their album cover. And here's that other image. All right, pretty sweet. And same thing happened. So once he, started doing this, he started getting picked up by magazines because he had a very specific way of lighting and style he was shooting in. And in fact, he kept playing with this, didn't even have to be portraits. And this image that he posted to, I think it was his Instagram, ended up getting picked up by Apple Music. So, playing with things and being experimental can help push you and can even lead into jobs eventually. So that's pretty sweet. Some personal projects can help give back to your community. So some ideas for this would be things like practicing your headshots by photographing people who are graduating from college who are just entering into the professional world. You could do free shots like this, and it also could help you network with them later on along the line. Maybe you photograph a fellow student and then they get a job where their whole office needs headshots, and they call you up and hire you because you helped them out before. And last but not least, there's also exploring deeper theories in photographic art. So we're going to be talking about fine art this week. And, you know, when it comes to fine art, you know, when we're talking about careers and you know, let's become a portrait photographer, we're talking about creating images for other people. When we're talking about fine art, a lot of the times we're talking about creating images to express something, or creating images for ourselves to try to figure out something that's going on in our head, maybe look at society, and question what's going on, why things are why they are. So by being able to explore those deeper thoughts, you can bring more into your own career and to your personal satisfaction as well. So in general, personal projects aren't done in 2 weeks. They're usually done over the span of months, even years or decades. There's been projects where people, you know, photograph some families and then they come back every 10 years to photograph them again to see how time has changed them. Now for this project, you're going to be putting everything you've learned into creating one amazing image based off a fine art photographer. All right, so let's get to the next video for more on that.